Good morning, everybody. There we go. Got the picture of Rav Hutner there. Parsha vayakhel. So a lot of people you view this as a kind of throwaway parsha, which not nice to say, I guess. But okay, vayakhel. We had all these things really talking about the Mishkan. Hashem told Moshe about the kelim of the Mishkan repeating itself. What's going on here? And this it's a very big, very important diak from the beginning of the part of vayakhel, to gather. We don't see this ever really in the Torah, not that often actually, where Moshe gathers the people. David b'nei Yisrael speaks to the people. I don't know how many people the whole Torah, Moshe, when he said this, everyone gathered. I don't know. But here there's a certain call for everyone to get together to talk about Mishkan. But first, he throws in Shabbos. So before we talk about all the Kalim, talk about Shabbos. And for those paying attention in Shul, we had this last week also from B'nai Yisrael Shabbos. We have Shabbos before, 3 weeks before. In Yisrael we had Shabbos. Why are we putting Shabbos again? And what's the purpose of gathering everyone together? So the Pri Tzaddik has an interesting take where in Truma we had Me'ez Kol Ish, and now we have a Vayakhel Kol Adas B'nai Yisrael. And the Pri Tzaddik says it's a little different. Before in Truma, this is pre-Egel, according to the one that said that there's an order in the Psukim and the order of the Torah. This is pre-Egel, of Egel. So they're being commanded, Kol Div Lebo, everyone to get together, includes everyone who wants to be part of this. Fantastic. Everyone was rich, everyone had a lot of money, be part of the Mishkan. Why not? Vayakhel is after. And we know that this was Yom Kippur. Vayakhel is this very important day. Jewish people, Moshe comes down with the second set of luchos, which is after Egel. And it's apparent to Moshe that the root of the Egel was the Erev Rav, the people that were not Jewish, they wanted to leave Mitzrayim, whatever intentions they had, whether good intentions, bad intentions, whatever it was, and they come out of Mitzrayim. And when Moshe wasn't coming down, we need someone to help us, someone to lead us, whatever the thought process was. This is the Erev Rav. And this caused many people to sin. Now, Parsha vayakhel, when a lot of Erev were killed, because they were part of the Egel, and other people were killed as well. And the level of the people now were at a different level, because at Matan Torah, people are on the level of like Malachim. All the Ra was out of their hearts, the Torah was on them, they were literally on this high level, higher than Yecheskel, high level at Har Sinai. And now Moshe gathers people around, Adas B'nai Yisrael, and it wasn't Kol Yisrael, it's Adas B'nai Yisrael. So Moshe is excluding the Erev Rav. Only people that withstood the Egel, the people that are really still committed to be Jewish, those people can really contribute and be part of the Mishkan. We don't want anybody. We're not just taking anybody walking off the street. You have to be locked in. You have to be part of this. And this is something that Pri Tzaddik talks about, why Shabbos is part of this. And Mishkan is part of this. You can't be locked in, tuned in to be a Jew, if you're putting your needs before the needs of Hashem, Kadosh Baruch Hu. And that's Shabbos. You might think that maybe that, it's the Mishkan, I should work and build for the Mishkan. No, I have to stop. I have to do what Hashem wants. And that's the sacrifice that the Arab did not do. When the people were kind of freaking out in the Midbar, Moshe there 40 days. So instead of putting their faith in Hashem, they thought of their own needs. We need someone, we need a leader, we need salvation, we want. And they took the gold that they were given, that they took out of Mitzrayim, and they kind of used their own resources for their own purpose, their own needs. Instead of seeing what the actual need is to follow HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they kind of put this on themselves. And this is kind of what Shabbos is. Shabbos is the day where we say, I don't need to make extra money. I could turn the boss down. A meeting at 4:30. Shabbos is 4:20. Can't do the meeting. Well, but you can't do it. That's it. There's no. That's it. There's a million. No. There's no dollar amount. I put the needs of Hashem before my needs. And this is kind of the piece that separates the Erev Rav or Jews from the Jews. It's good to be Jewish. Yeah, you can go to shul, you can do all these things. You say you're Jewish, bris milah, all these things. But when the rubber hits the road, when you have to make the difficult decisions, where you're going to live, how you conduct your life, where you're going to spend your money, where you're not going to vacation, what you're going to drink, not drink, this is where being a Jew is different. It's one thing to be a Jew in name and faith, but in practice is important. And that's what Shabbos is. Shabbos is the time where we put aside what we think is best for us. You know what? If I worked on Shabbos, I'd give more money to the shul. Fantastic. I can give more money to the hospital. No, we put that aside for Shabbos. So that's one issue of what Shabbos, the connection of Shabbos with Hadas B'nai Yisrael, the gathering. Gathering the Jewish people who are zoned in, locked into Shabbos. Those people can contribute, as opposed to the Erev Rav, where they're troublemakers, they think about themselves all the time, selfish, whatever the point of the Erev Rav is. There's also partial vayakhel when you think about juxtaposition of Yom Kippur and Shabbos. The Gemara says that this was Yom Kippur. And the Kli Yakar, one of my favorite Kli Yakars, it has to do with this piece of vayakhel, is to gather the people. Yom Kippur is an equalizer, just like Shemitah is an equalizer. There's no rich people, there's no lenders, no borrowers. We're all on the same field, all on the same playing field. No workers, we're not slaves, we're all on the same playing field. That's what Shemitah is. And Yom Kippur is exactly that. Yom Kippur is the day where we're all wearing white. We all can't wear fancy shoes. We're wearing Crocs, actually. We don't eat anything special. No, same thing. We're wearing white, we're all fasting, we have the same rules, and we're also asking mechili from each other. We're all trying to equal this out. If I lord it over this guy, I ask mechila, and we're back on the same playing field. So vayakhel is a time to equal the playing field. And that's Shabbos, exactly that. You know, during the week, everyone dresses this way, you have fancy clothes, you have a fancy car, whatever you're doing. Shabbos rolls around, and we're all on the same playing field. And this is Shabbos, and this is Shalom, this is Shabbos. When Yaakov gathers the people, gathers the sons to tell them about Mashiach, he gathers them together. So any fights, any issues they had before, you have to gather people together. And that's literally what the Mishkan is. Mishkan is an extension of the Torah Shebiksav. The Mishkan represents Torah Sheba'al Peh, the light and the aura that comes from the Luchos. And this is the Mishkan. And the point of a Mishkan, the point of a Beis Hamikdash, the point of Shechanti B'Socham is Torah Shebiksav, Torah Sheba'al Peh. And we're here in this world to kind of spread the light, spread the Torah, but it's only with Shalom. It's only with coming together. You cannot grow as a person, whether Torah or not. You can't grow as a person if you're not b'shalom with people. If you think you can learn great by yourself, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to do well because you're limited to what you know. It's only by being shalom of people could you grow in Torah, as the Kli Yakar says as well. Without shalom, you can't really grow, because I see someone doing something in shul or doing something in the street that's not appropriate. If I don't care about the guy, I'm not going to say anything. And that guy's just going to be doing the same avei or the same bad things over and over and over again. If you're b'shalom with someone, you can give proper musar. Listen, we're good friends, right? Yeah, sure. I really care about you. Yeah. You have to work on this. And if the person really cares about you and you're b'shalom with someone, then the person takes it as you're trying to help them, as opposed to, oh, you're giving me criticism because you think you're better than me. You know what? You're worse. You talk in shul, you think I talk in shul, you wear this, that's shamus, or you think I say lashon hara, you don't even learn any Gemara. So being b'shalom increases Torah Sheba'al Peh, because you have to increase Torah, you need to hear someone's other perspective. You want to grow, you have to know that someone can teach you something, and also to improve yourself as a person. If you're not b'shalom, you're by yourself, no one will ever give you musar, and you're just going to make the same mistakes over and over. And hopefully Shabbos is a time where we can look in the shul, everyone's keeping Shabbos. And some people look differently, guys a white yarmulke, guys a black yarmulke, guys a hat, no hat. We're all trying to do the emes, trying to do the right thing, trying to be b'shalom. And that's kind of what Shabbos is. Shabbos is Shabbat Shalom, and that's connection of the Beis Hamikdash. That's what we're trying to do, is create a world, a place where there's Shalom, a plays with his ahava, and that's how we grow as a person, as a people. We should also try to have in mind and daven, give tzedakah for the Jews in Ukraine. So I think there's more Jews in Ukraine than there are in England. There's thousands of Jews really that are just I guess freaking out is the right word. It's hard to imagine what they're going through. In Eretz Yisrael we have some missiles and people living in the south feel it. But for thousands of people not to know where to turn to, where to go, and being stuck in this matzah, it's frightening. Unfortunately, we kind of forget about them. We had work yesterday, and the news is on one browser, and I was doing work in the other browser. It's hard to, that we're going on a regular day with people just like really losing it. So we should really think about them and contribute as best we can. And we should all hope that they have a peaceful Shabbos as best they can. And we should have a Shabbat Shalom.